Hey, what is going on, you guys? My name is Spidek64, and welcome back, everybody, to yet another NASCAR 164 scale diecast review. And here for today's 164 scale diecast review, we are going to be here today to have a look at and review here today at, well, it's again another SVG race win. So actually, funny enough, so this is how I'm doing all these videos. So recently, I think it was a couple minutes ago, I just did a review of this diecast, and then there's also the Lane Riggs truck, which we'll see how that does in terms of the viewership count. But this was really the diecast, though, that I was really looking forward to the most. And that is because, well, let's actually go ahead and talk to you all what this race win's all about. Here today, we are going to be having a look at Shane Van Gisbergen's number 88 Red Bull Sonoma race win version. And what makes this diecast pretty special is that, would you look at that? This right here is the first diecast body and chassis edition diecast that we're going to be having a look at. And oh, by the way, this diecast also includes the rubber tires as well. So I'm pretty pumped to get into this particular diecast review. And you might also be noticing the screws in the box and all that good stuff. And because this is, you know, a pretty special diecast, I did take this car off of the base. But we'll get to that here in just a moment. But, well, actually, you know what? There's the box. Nothing different about it. Here is a look at the diecast itself. And we have here, yet again, another Red Bull diecast. Now, I did do a review of Connor Zilich's Red Bull car not that long ago. And I do got to say, though, that I really love these Red Bull diecasts, man. I mean, first and foremost, it's just really cool to have just Red Bull in general back in NASCAR after being absent from the sport for just so many years. Then when Van Gisbergen came into NASCAR, brought along the Red Bull sponsorship, and it was on from there. And yeah, so really cool to have these guys back. And also, yeah, the first, probably the first, unless you count the Chicago race win, well, in terms of Cup, the first Cup Red Bull diecast race win that we've gotten in quite a long time. Did they ever produce a 164? I imagine they probably did not, for Casey Kane and the guy that shall not be mentioned, the one that's a part of those very, very nasty people. If you don't know what I'm talking about, just please avoid Vickernism, guys. It's a very contagious disease. I mean, Jimmy Spencer talked about it all those years ago, you know. They should have locked up Brian Vickers up and studied him for scientific purposes, and all that good stuff. But let's not talk about fucking Brian Vickers here, but let's talk here about SVG. So, yeah, so I really, again, the Red Bull diecast, this is certainly going to be a car for the Red Bull collectors and all that good stuff. If you collect not only the NASCAR one, the NASCAR diecast, but also the F1 diecast as well, which I still need to pick up those Hot Wheels F1 diecasts. I still do. Here's the thing, though, is that none of them really interest me. The only one they have on the store shelves is Lando Norris, and that's about it. No offense to the Lando fans, but I don't care. I don't really kind of care for him that much. Anyways, though, so last time around when we had a look at the Connor Zilich version, the biggest difference was really what was the number. On the Connor Zilich one, it had a red number. But here, of course, obviously, you got the white number. And for the most part, though, it's a very standard kind of your Red Bull diecast. It's very matte, but you do have some pretty cool colors here and there. You got the big old yellow circle back there. You got the bull. And we'll get into the sponsors here in a minute. But, man, I'm really loving this diecast, though. Just really kind of for the sponsor, though. In terms of a race win car, we'll get to it. We'll get into that. But, yeah. But anyways, though, let's just get down to the sponsors here. So, on the windshield banner, you have, of course, the Chevy banner. You got Van Gisbergen. On the hood, you got Red Bull. You got WeatherTech down there. Here's the Chevrolet Camaro front nose, which is a tad bit crooked right there. Oh, man, I don't like the way that looks. Yeah, I don't think that's great. Yeah, the decal is not aligned, but could be worse. It could have been like that William Byron diecast that I had. Still have it right there. It haunts my nightmares, I swear. You got number 88, Trackhouse, Sonunko Rookie of the Year. You got, of course, the splitter with the white tips or the yellow tips. God damn it, dude. Okay. Anyways, let's just go ahead. Let's just continue on. Anyways, you got Goodyear, NASCAR Cup Series number 88 with that chrome plated trim. Got the Red Bull. One thing though that I do know people did complain about with the Connors Village diecast was that the logo back here did not have any logo. This white part was just white. But here, since this was the Toyota Save Mart 350, it does have the Save Mart logo, which is a grocery store that's in the Sonoma Raceway area. And I really love this gas cap right here. It says you got the Trackhouse on each side, and on the top and the bottom you got the Red Bull logo. Got Quad Lock, Safety Culture, Wendy's, Simeon's with the 3 Race Win stickers from Mexico City, Chicago, and of course Sonoma. And you got 2 on the other side there. It says SVG. Yeah, you got Simeon's, gives you wings, Van Gisbergen, Safety Mart, or Save Mart. Says Red Bull gives you wings. Pretty much the same stuff on the other side right there. He says gives you wings, Save Mart, Chevrolet, Quaker State, Zeal 188. And, of course, obviously, here is a look of the chassis underneath. And I do want to go ahead and, of course, obviously, and I don't think I have it. Okay, let's see. So, obviously, to tell that this is a die-cast metal chassis. See, you can hear that. And, of course, obviously, because of the glossy finish. And then let's take we'll take here this Chastain race win. You can see how, different it sounds and all that good stuff. Oh, by the way, for any of you that want to know how to take off the screws, it's very easy. On the base, you got to just get rid of the glue, which you can get rid of with a scalpel or with anything sharp, and then take some really tiny flathead screwdriver head or bit, and just typically just unscrew it. And that's how I took this car off of the base. And of course, obviously, you can see that these rubber tires, which look great. And you got these black rims as well. That looks pretty cool too. Yeah, really cool right there. Yeah, that looks really cool right there with the rubber tires. And also, by the way, I'm glad that this is the standard when it comes to Lion-O Racing. And no, this is, and by the way, this is the only way that you can get this diecast, by the way. They're not doing that thing like they did a while back, where they're like, oh, there's the standard edition and then there's the diecast chassis version. No, essentially, this is the new standard when it comes to 1/64 scales for Cup, at least. For O'Reilly and trucks, they don't get that treatment, which I'm okay with them not giving them the treatment. But oh well, though. But yeah. But let's go ahead and now have a look at the race win damage. And this car, pretty much for the most part, it's not a beat-up race win because, once again, Van Gisbergen did kick the field's ass once again. But you can see here how the confetti covers, basically covers the splitter, a little bit of the front end, some of the, good amount of the hood, good amount of the windshield, some on the roof, some on this side of the car, and then, of course, obviously, not much on this side here, too. But in terms of the other race win damage, you can see here that you do got the carbon fiber detail for the splitter, so I do appreciate that. And then when you got these, and then for the yellow tips right here, you can see some rubber buildup and dirt. So that looks very nice. On this side right here, not much damage. Yeah, not that much. You can kind of see some rubber buildup. Oh, you can see some crinkle right there with the quarter panel, or the rear quarter panel. Got a little bit down on the back here, but then going down this side, yeah, you can see how totally kind of beat up this car is. This race kind of devolved into kind of a wreck fest at the end, where basically essentially everybody was like crashing into each other and all that good stuff. And also really Sonoma Raceway, it's not really known for its crazy racing. So that's just kind of how it goes, how on par it goes for some of these races and all that good stuff. But Regardless though of that really kind of being said, that's really gonna do it for this review, I guess. So yeah, and by the way, if you're wondering why positioning the car like this, typically if I'm reviewing another diecast from another driver, I like to do it from the other side just to try to differentiate it, but maybe I might do it on the other side. I'm not really so sure, but yeah, so that's really gonna do it for today, guys. In terms of this review, you know what? I'll just do it to this side. Because why not? But anyways, though, thank you all so much for watching this video. Overall, if any of you are not going to be picking up any of the SVG diecasts, I'll just say this. At least pick this one up. This right here is a really cool looking race win. Plus, it's a Red Bull diecast. So come on. Pick up your Red Bull diecast. You guys really want to continue buying the same old HendrickCar.com Kyle Larson race wins, or from Corey Day, or whoever's going to drive that 88 car, or actually technically the 17. Actually, Raja Crib's driving the 88. Hey, at least they gave that car a red number instead of just the typical scheme, but whatever. But anyways, though, thank you guys so much for watching my videos. This is going to be like, we're going to have this stretch here where you're going to see 3 videos here, and this is going to be like the final one you're going to be watching, so hopefully all of you enjoyed this one. And yeah, we'll see how SVG and Connors Village does this season. We'll see how they fare on the road courses and such. So thank you all so much for watching the video, and I will see all of you in the next review. We'll see what it is.